say, "Judge not, lest you be judged." And I say, "Twist not Scripture, lest you be like Satan." Because Jesus is saying, you will know them, and you will know yourself, if you are in the faith, by the fruit you bear, not by what you say. Your profession of faith in Jesus Christ is worth absolutely zero. Because Jesus said, many will come before Him on that day and say, "Lord, Lord," and He said, "Depart from me, I never knew you." It's not he who says, "Lord, Lord," but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Is He saying it's not the one who believes, but the one who obeys the will? No. He's saying the one that truly believes will demonstrate their belief by doing the will of the Father on a consistent enough basis to know, to demonstrate that really something's happened. Like an illustration I always use. Let's say I showed up late for your church. You're kind of angry. You said, "Brother Paul, don't you appreciate the opportunity you have here to speak in our church?" I said, "Listen, don't be angry with me. I was driving here, I was going down the highway, had a flat tire, and I was changing the tire, and I just wasn't thinking, and a lug nut flew off the tire, and it went out in the middle of the highway, and I just without looking, I ran out there, and I picked up the lug nut, and when I stood up, there was a logging truck weighing 30 tons going 120 miles an hour, 10 feet in front of me. It ran me down, and that's why I'm late." You're going to go, you're either a lunatic or you're an immoral liar. So why? Well, that's impossible. No, I got run over by a logging truck. It's impossible. It's ludicrous. It's immoral. It is impossible to have an encounter with a logging truck and not be changed. Then why do you tell me it's possible to have an encounter with God and not be changed? So has God become smaller than a tiny truck? All these people running around with an encounter with God, but their lives are the same. Salvation is a mighty work of God. And if God has not changed and is not changing you, if God has not trapped you, if God is not before you, behind you, beside you, making you walk in a certain way, you know not God. If you can live in sin and revel in it and find nothing crushing down on your soul, no conviction of sin, no discipline from the Father, no breaking of the heart, you're lost. Let me give you a demonstration, an illustration from Spurgeon. Just to give you an idea why this is so true. Let's say that we have a pig in the back there behind those doors. All right? And I put a plate of the finest food here and a bucket of garbage here, and I say, "Loose the pig and let him go." Well, Phineas, you don't have to be a farmer to know where the pig's going to go. He's going to go straight to the bucket of slop. Why? He is a pig. By his nature, he's a pig. He does what pigs do. It's just natural. He is a pig, so he loves garbage. He turns away from the finest food, sticks his head in this bucket, and eats it with joy. Now let's say that while he is eating this, without any shame, without any remorse, full of joy, I have the power in 1 second to change him into a man. Now what's going to happen? Well, there are certain things a man cannot eat even if he tries. In 1 second, he throws his head out of that bucket and he begins to vomit up all that he had taken down. What he once loved, he now hates, despises. He's sick inside. Why? He no longer has the stomach of a pig. He has the stomach of a man. He no longer has the nature of a pig. He has the nature of a man. Men cannot take that stuff down without becoming sick. Not only that, he turns around and looks at you. He's ashamed. The thing he once had no shame about or remorse about whatsoever, he now is so ashamed. I just described your conversion. If you have been converted. I just described mine. A man is born in sin. By nature, we love to sin and we hate righteousness. And then God is here offering salvation, hope, everything else. But no, we want the filth of sin, disgust. We want all the immorality, everything there is in the world. We want it. We love it. We eat it down. We boast about it. We play with it with our friends. We lay in it, roll in it like swine. But what happens? Is salvation simply a pig waking up one day going, I don't want to be a pig anymore. Even though I love all this stuff, I'm going to try with all my heart to get away from it. And even though I just hate doing all this righteous stuff like reading Bibles and praying and loving and sacrificing, I'm going to do it because I want to go to heaven. That's the way most people see salvation. Well, I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do. If you came to church today this morning because it's the right thing to do, go home. This is not helping you. Christianity is not about doing what's right even though you don't want to do it. Christianity is about the fact that God came down, took out your heart of stone, put in a heart of flesh that can respond to Him, that loves Him. And it's not that you turn away from the bucket of filth because you love it. You turn away from it because you hate it. It's not that you turn to Jesus because it's the right thing to do. You turn to Jesus because He's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.